Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course from New Earth One Network. This is designed exclusively for your higher self connection and embodiment. Welcome, everyone. We are celebrating the 222 codes in this magnificent year. And what a better way shower, or there's not a better way shower than Meg Benedicte here to explain more about these incredible codes throughout this entire year. Hi, Meg.
Hi, Lauren. Great to be here with you again.
Yes, it's so wonderful to be here. The 222 codes, this is really the divine feminine. Two represents the divine feminine, the qualities, the aspects of nurturing, compassion, spontaneity, intuition, so much more. And here we are in these gateways, but this whole year is pretty powerful. It is very transformational.
Yeah.
Can you share with us your insight on the 222 codes?
Yes, well, it is, as you mentioned, the whole year. The whole year we're in a 222 energy, and it's just rippling through the quantum field in so many different ways. So however you relate to it, I just encourage everyone to embrace the power and the essence of two, the 222. In numerology, two is the divine feminine, as you mentioned, and we're just coming out of the thousands, which is the masculine and the hierarchy and the patriarchy, and we're now coming into the 2000s for quite a long time, and that's of the feminine. The two is the feminine energy, and even just this first 20 years or 21 years of this millennium of two, it was like a transition point from the masculine dominant patriarchy into what we're moving into now. So think of it like it was the transition years, but now on a 222, this is like, okay, it's launching. Now it's arrived, it's fully here, and we can enjoy it to the fullest extent. So this also, for those who love tarot, in tarot, the number 2 arcana card is the high priestess. So this is where we're starting to see kind of esoteric themes running everywhere through all the different studies. And one of the things that has just kind of popped out to me is it's the mother energy. As you mentioned, it's this caring, nurturing essence that we need desperately in this world. It's also helping to enhance your psychic abilities, your intuition. All feminine gifts are our empathy and our ability to cooperate and collaborate. And so what I've been shown by Metatron recently is we really are, in a way, transitioning from kind of the pyramidal masculine hierarchical system, the top power, and it's not disseminated out equally. We're moving from the pyramidal masculine archetype to the circular collaborative feminine system. And so this is where we all have to kind of unlearn old habits, right? Old ways of being, even in business. This is all having to be transformed into more of this circular feminine system, like as you and I do, when we collaborate and we support each other. This is very much that new earth system, the circular system. So we're all learning a new way to be and be with each other. So it's all about relating. Again, we're learning new relationship skills, new ways to relate in unity consciousness. So it's also affecting not just us personally, but also with our circle, our close circle of loved ones, and then even into the greater circle of our communities and beyond, even to, in a way, the circle of our galactic family. Like, it's just on the scale, it's exponentially growing and spreading. And this is where the kind of our beautiful Gaia is starting to also enter back into the circle of the galactic family of light as well. I also find in the 222 energies, it's kind of like we're in this womb space energy of mother, and we're birthing alive after 2 years of really extreme decomposition and resetting and rebooting. And so now this whole year with the 222 of the divine mother essence, we're in this womb space, and they're calling it the year of reinvention. And I love that. Like, think of how just focus on, I even made my little list of what I want to do to reinvent myself. It's kind of like, a spiritual makeover. Okay. So take advantage of that as well as you are embracing the 222 energy of mother, of the goddess. And then finally, it also in numerology it represents clarity and transparency and exposure into the lights. This is an enlightenment year, and it, as you mentioned, it is highlighting our soul purpose, our soul gifts, our soul mission. So yes, we're reinventing ourselves, on a personal level, as more living as a divine human, but we're also being kind of compelled from the inside to take it out to the world as our soul purpose, our destiny, our dharma.
So beautiful. And I know that those watching and listening can truly feel the tremendous impact of this year, the frequency of this year. So those qualities that you share are really wonderful. Yes, the world needs them. We've been really waiting for them, waiting. Some of us thought it was going to be December 21st, 2012, but we're seeing that it's one heart at a time that's waking to this. And so when we are reinventing ourselves, if we do it from this viewpoint, from this perspective of working with these energies, then we're going to be supported in miraculous ways. We're already starting to see some of that happening. I actually started to see it last year when I would just look at 2022. It was like, wow, can you feel that? And so now here we are in it. Mm-hmm. And I just want to check in with you for your perspective at the turn of this year, from last year to this year, and see how you've been dealing with it. I've heard from the ground troops that there has been some feelings of intensity. I have noticed that I just simply don't want to play in the old. Mm-hmm. And it also seems as if our memory of the old is really just that. It's just a memory, and that if we really are present, then we're kind of foggy or fuzzy, that there's nothing to really do or say. I find that interesting. How are you feeling about all this?
I agree. I was really impressed with this whole 10-year phase from, as you mentioned, the solstice 2012 to the solstice of 2021. So it's 10 years. On the solstice of 2012, the time matrix, control matrix, what do you want to call it, unlocked in the planetary field. And so for 10 years, those of us who've been really working it have been in this whole kind of purging, cleansing, decomposition of anywhere that we were involved in that old 3D time matrix. And so that has not been an easy 10-year period. It's like once it unlocked, it was like, oh, here's all, here it is. That all has to get cleaned out. It has to get released out and purged out. That's what I have been experiencing myself as well in the last 10 years, is just massive departiculating of anywhere that had been involved in that matrix. And so what I'm seeing now is like we're extracting even our ego from engaging in that 3D time matrix. We're pulling out of it completely. And as we do that, our whole light body lights up and turns on and activates for us to sustain us, because now we're becoming, in a way, our own ecosystem. We're not in, and really immersed in a matrix system anymore. We're really starting to, sustain ourselves with our own Merkaba light body. And it's at that point then we move into this next 10-year phase that 2022 is igniting. This is really the soul merge. This is the soul embodiment phase. This is where we are no longer being impacted or dominated by an external matrix program. We're now kind of creating from the inside out, right? We're expressing ourselves out into the world from our authentic soul presence. And so I see us moving into this phase of really starting to live as the embodied soul, but in a human experience. And I haven't felt that. I want to know what that is. Okay. I haven't really experienced that much. For me, I've had to be more into the higher dimensional space to experience the oneness with my soul. But now I'm going to be able to experience it in just the mundane daily life as a human here. And that's what you're describing. It's very different. So we're all kind of reorienting to how to live like that, right? From the embodied soul now in a human experience. So I think a lot of New Agers think we're ascending and leaving. Now, what I have been seeing is during the 10 years of the decomposition of an extraction from the time matrix, we've also been departiculating, decomposing the reptilian human hybrid genetic lineage so that our own galactic code, our own galactic lineage is igniting inside the light body and replacing that lineage with our own soul code, our own soul, in a sense, vessel. And we're preparing for this process of being able to finally return to our home star, because we've been locked in this reincarnational cycle on planet Earth since Atlantis. We've been basically just recycling 3D40, just constantly trapped in here. But what's happened since the Matrix unlocked in 2012, it's now all those entry gates into the Earth plane have opened up. And that's why we're seeing so many souls that are transitioning, and they're able to now return to their soul group, their soul home star. So as we transition from the matrix programming and the genetic reengineering, and we're in this kind of a conversion in our own cellular makeup to our soul, galactic soul lineage and code, it's preparing us for that transition home at some point when we are ready and have completed all that we're here to do and experience.
All right. Well, I just wanted to share as well and a tribute to a beautiful spiritual teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh. Peace is Every Step is a book that he wrote that literally I found, 30 years ago. And he left the planet on the 122-2022. Isn't that amazing? I mean, any thoughts on this transition with that great teacher?
Well, I look at the timing of that. It's like he was so present even through that 10-year period since 2012, right? He was still there in a way as an earth angel, representing and demonstrating and teaching and showing us how to live as divine humans. And as we start this year, it's like he completed his destiny and returned, and the gates were open so he could return home to his home origin. And so I didn't feel sorrow when I saw the news. I felt really excited, like this is another great sign of this powerful year, and this is a transition year. And he, in a way, he showed us the way. He was, the beacon, the light. He showed us the way into living as a divine human.
We can feel still feel that presence.
Yes.
So, all right, we're decomposing the reptilian lineage within ourselves. We're activating our Merkaba, our light body. This is a year of great transition. How would those who want to really assist in the transition, what is the best action? It's almost a little bit of just being and then a
It
little bit
is.
of doing. So
It's
how would you describe that?
That's true. It is embracing the feminine quality of being, feeling, receiving. So starting to, open more and receive all that the universe is sending you. When we're all into the masculine action, effort, all that, we can't receive. So take time to be in the stillness, in the quiet. I just open and call in the abundance of the universe to come down my chakra channel and receive it. Fill your heart with all that love and support and abundance coming in, all that mother energy. It can take that mother energy. I always see it and feel it kind of like molten golden healing energy, and I take it inside anywhere I'm still feeling any pain or suffering left from living in the 3D matrix. So we're still nurturing and healing ourselves from many lives in that system, and let it regenerate you, build new golden cells of your soul code. Let it just rebirth you. This is that womb space energy we're talking about. So not only is it the stillness, but it's not an empty void. This is the fertile womb space in that stillness to birth yourself. So get focused. How do you want to reinvent yourself? So like I said, I'm starting a list here of things I want to have kind of on the forefront of my visioning and intentioning of how I want to be able to live in this world now through these new energies, and set your intention of what you'd like to accomplish in this 222 years. It's a very powerful, fertile year. Also, too, I think as we do more of the soul merging, right, more of the embodiment of the divine essence, the divine soul presence, then when you're in that quiet, you're in that stillness, you're able to start to sense and feel more of what your soul is interested in and wants to get involved in and wants to create. How does your soul want to create through you? And it can come in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be a traditional role. I mean, it could be really new lifestyles, new technology, new thoughts. So I just sit, make some time for yourself this year. Sit in, I'm calling it, my higher self said, okay, it's time you start to set aside like the meg hour every day. Cause I was in, I got so much to do, my business, blah, blah, blah. Put aside a meg hour. Okay. Put aside your hour if you can, if it's a half an hour, whatever you can carve out to be in your own essence, be in your own stillness, and really connect inside, heart to heart, with your beautiful soul presence there, so that you're able to just, naturally, organically express it out in the world.
That is so beautiful. I really hope everyone has felt that and can witness the energies of this year. Well, in the collective as well, what I'm seeing is, all right, just to be very quick, there was a terrible fire in my hometown of Boulder.
Yes.
I was not there. I'm not there. But what I'm picking up on in the community is that there's this new respect for Earth. There's just a heightened awareness. And so isn't that amazing to be in this year of great reinvention when things like this happen, because people are really serious now somehow about we've got to do things differently. So that's quite exciting amidst the tragedy. It's interesting to read between the lines and see the bigger picture.
Because it's touching people personally now. It's gotten their attention, right? This is how it's been for me. I'm live on the border of Oregon and California, and we're just in fires all, every year now. Actually having to leave during the summer. I'm like a climate migrant now. I'm going to be having to live in different places because I can't live in that toxic smoke for months on end, and we were in 4 months of it this last year. It's horrible. So when it touches you personally, you begin to realize this imbalance that's being shown to us in nature is it's in a way Gaia's also trying to self-correct, right? She's also having to adjust to the extraction of all her resources as well, and the misuse of her bounty and nature. So we begin to realize it within ourselves, and then we also, as you said, it's getting mirrored to us all around us in the world. So we're seeing it happening on the global level as well. We can't disconnect from and disassociate from what's happening to our planet anymore. It's hitting us personally. So that is highlighting how we will no longer be able to survive if we stay in that hierarchical system, and we will no longer be able to survive if we're not in harmony and balance with our beloved planet. So this becomes more of our focus and our orientation when we make our life choices from now on. And like you said, it pulls the community together, because we can't do this by ourselves. We have to work together to shift this the lifestyle that we were born into. We have to shift it together. So it is a unifier in tragedy, unfortunately, but it is, like you said, it is raising the consciousness of everyone who's personally being involved in it or who are witnessing it. Just like even on the internet, it's really tragic. So it is like a clarion call. It is we are in a healing crisis on this planet. And so as we're working with the mother energy to rebirth not only ourselves, we have to also go out into nature as often as we can and continue to spread, even when we do like our global meditations, really spreading that healing, regenerative, nurturing energy into Gaia's field as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just want to promote the activations, the global activations that you do on these gateway windows, on the 2/2, on 2/22, later this month, and throughout the year. Tirelessly, you offer these activations, and it really is an opportune time for everyone to come together in that collective container and dream that vision of New Earth. So we invite those watching and listening to join in those global activations. They feel spectacular and very empowering. So here we are working with the mother's energy. The mother's love is so healing and loving and peaceful. I just wanted to share, heightened, I guess you could call it intuition. I don't know what it is, but I was seeing into past lives. It was like if I meet new people and feel a connection, not with everyone, there's just like people that show up, and then you sit and go into that. I can recognize past lives with virtual strangers. And that is I don't want to say a symptom, but it's an indicator of the energies that are present and soul embodiment that's going on. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, what you're describing is this magnetism that grows as the soul grows inside the heart and in the Merkaba light body. The magnetic fields that wrap around the heart, they start to pulse with the soul vibration. So our magnetism starts to grow exponentially and pulling in those we have soul connections with. And this could be, of course, in past lives as well. And since we are in this whole process of completing the reincarnational cycling, of course, we're going to meet anyone that we still have even some open issue with, a karmic issue even of past life. This all has to be resolved and healed and transmuted. And so there could be, as you mentioned, souls who come in that you even maybe even have like an agreement that you're going to meet up at some point and collaborate or team up or somehow create something together, or just hold that love for each other. But then also it could be some come into your orbit, and that you realize, okay, I have some healing I have to do with this soul as well. So this is, I'm having this, I'm hearing this from everybody. This is a big development right now, is healing. Even on the global level, the human race is having to heal their trauma from the Atlantean Armageddon timeline. Like, this is happening on all scale of the healing and the resolution of past life karma, as well as kind of this unification with these dear loved souls that we have history with, that we have, even galactic history with, that they're coming together. I'm finding, even in my private practice, new clients are popping in, and somehow, one of my newsletters or videos landed on their computer, and it's just this whole magnetism from wherever they're living around the world, pulling us to meet and fulfill whatever was that soul agreement made before we even incarnated. So that is getting stronger and stronger, as you mentioned. People should probably start to expect this to keep developing.
Good. All right. So hold on to your hats and pay attention as we move through this year and all years moving forward. This is just a deep connection to our soul, embodied soul, as we create and live this way. And I love that question. How do we live with these new energies? We're going to play a New Earth meditation that you've done. It's so beautiful and perfect for this time today. Can you share a little bit more about that New Earth meditation?
Yes, well, it started to become really evident during these past 10 years of really unlocking and breaking free from the time matrix, the 3D control matrix, that we started to have two parallel timelines that were running simultaneously in the planetary field. And one was this old hierarchical Atlantean timeline, and then this new, those of us who've been on this new earth path for some years, we really started to witness and experience and, in a way, migrate fully into that newer timeline as the foundation of our reality here. And it's exquisite, it's beautiful, it's harmonious, it's full of love, vibration. And so it is a choice. We choose, which timeline. And this, I'm not talking in your personal life timelines. I'm talking on the planetary, the bigger picture planetary timeline, where you're going to put yourself, where you're going to ground into, where you're going to create from. So this newer timeline is viable and accessible and alive and activated. And I really started to see it bifurcate, really start to pull apart away from the other one on 12/12/2019, which in numerology is a 12. So it's a 12/12/12 gateway. It was a very powerful gateway that really kind of ignited that newer timeline for all souls to choose to come in. So it's been 2 years now, and it is awesome. I don't know how to describe it. You will be in the grace, you will be in the flow, you will be in joy, and it's such a loving field. And so I created this newer timeline meditation for those who really want some assistance in unlocking, extracting from the old one, and really locking in and grounding in it, and positioning yourself and integrating into that newer timeline as your new home foundation as we're going forward into this next 10-year cycle in 2022. So it's just, again, one of the beautiful gifts that has flown through as a conduit. So I'm so happy to share it with everyone.
All right. And we will be preparing that now and playing that here. And so for those who are not in the joy and they're having challenges getting there, Meg's quantum vortex procedure technique is a beautiful tool to use to clear out the old and then bring in that higher consciousness light and new earth light and anchor onto new
Mhm.
earth. So beautiful. I've been using that tool pretty much almost daily, Meg.
Boy, it's life-changing if you can do it daily. I know it sure changed my life, and it's integrated in with my field. It's working all the time. This is Metatron's gift to us during this ascension, and it really accelerates your inner and outer transformation. And it is a reverse spin rotation, so it's reversing us out of that 3D time matrix and liberating us and opening us up for the soul integration, the soul merge. So thank you, Metatron, for gifting us with this technique. It's truly amazing.
All right. And before we play this, we're going to leave everyone with that meditation. I just want to give you a quick moment to, first, I want to thank you for
Oh,
this time.
my pleasure.
Couldn't do a 222 event without you. So thank you.
Yes.
And just any final words that you have for those watching and listening.
Well, I would, again, it's all about encouraging everyone to embrace what the universe is bringing us this year. I mean, this is a beautiful energy, despite how it looks out there, because what's happening out in the world is the decomposition of the old system. So trying not to get too engaged with it emotionally. I know a lot of people are pretty angry and upset and just realizing it needs to transition into this new earth. So we're supporting, kind of in the void, we fill in the new earth. So focusing on what we're birthing here, what we're filling in the void with, to be open and active for everybody. And then that will become your new home base, and you'll be able to continue this clearing, healing, purging process that we're all in. As we I keep hearing from my higher self, you're getting lean and clean. I'm like, all right, I like that. All right, because it literally is like internal house cleaning. We're removing all the challenges and the pain and the suffering from being in that very polarized system. It's a chaos system. It's just yeah, we're done with it. So if you feel like, oh my God, I'm still feeling that, instead of kind of internalizing and sinking into it, go, okay, well then I'm going to bring that into the light and transmute it so I get free of it. So anytime I sense something coming up from the inner depths that's like, whoa, that feels horrible, or oh my goodness, there's another flashback from, childhood abuse or whatever, however it's showing up, I own it, I recognize it, I'm in it, and I bring it into the light and transmute it. So that way then you are in this continual process of transmuting and transforming yourself. You're not falling back into it or sinking into it. You're liberating yourself from it. So I just encourage everyone to stick with it. The rewards keep coming as you lighten yourself up and start to live more and more as that embodied soul.
Beautiful. All right, everyone. Happy clearing and enjoy the liberation into love. Thank
Love it.
you. Thank you, Meg. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
In this sacred space, we're going to birth alive this new earth timeline. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned, let's have our feet on the floor. We're going to take a couple deep breaths and turn into the heart, the breath, the belly. We're coming down from the thinking mind and focusing into our feeling body, into our senses. So I'm going to be breathing deeply through the activations. You can pick up the breath with you as well. It's the pranic breath of moving our chi, moving our energy. And as we inhale life force, inhale chi, inhale light, we're starting to get into the body, getting more down into our hips and our legs and our feet, using your feet chakras like magnets and locking right onto your grounding onto the crystalline global grid. Imagine the ley lines of light of Gaia's crystalline grid, and you're grounding onto the ley lines. Roots of light from your feet chakras into the ley lines. Getting nice and secured and present in your body. Okay, now let's bring in spirit, connecting to Divine Mother, Father, Source, connecting to your God self, your oversoul presence, your I am presence, and your soul family. Also calling in your support team of angels and guides, ascended masters, shamans, and the elders, your protectors, and just call them to circle around you with their love and support as we're working here today. We're also connecting to Gaia and to Mother Nature, calling in the nature spirits and the devas, the fairies. Let's call in the elementals of air, fire, water, earth, and ether so we can do the alchemy. We're working with Metatron's sacred gift, Metatron's cube. Archangel Metatron is stepping into your sacred space with you and embedding Metatron's cube under your feet. We're going to step into the center of it and turn it on, activating the sacred geometry of creation. The 12 circles in Metatron's cube start to rise as pillars of light up and around the body and the aura, and they're like tuning forks. They're pulsing and humming and vibrating with the phi harmonics, the sacred sounds of Om. And so you can also Om out loud or in your mind, but it starts to activate those pillars and they begin to rotate right to left in an anti-clockwise spin around the body and aura. So if you're looking from your higher self down, it's counterclockwise, anti-clockwise spin, right to left. All right, there we go. We're starting to get them spinning, and as they accelerate, all right, so you can use your breath to spin up faster and faster. They begin to merge and blend and form a crystalline diamond white vortex spinning around you. It's called the quantum vortex because it's going to open us to the quantum field. As it's spinning, it's starting to open and unfurl your field up and out into the higher dimensions. Opening out, expanding. All the way up and out into the higher dimensions, and now we're going faster, spinning even faster, starting to collapse the time barrier, all the way to the quantum field, opening the field up to the virtual particle field and the particle field. They let it go, opening out, spinning open. Expanding. We're able to connect with both our physical world and non-physical world. That's it. Okay, and that's what we're reaching towards. It allows us to access into the light body. So let's turn inwards and come inside into the chakra column, running right up the center of your body. And now we're going to bring a central spiral from Metatron's cube up to the root chakra, and then spiral all the way up your chakra column. It's also spinning anti-clockwise. There we go, spinning up, and it's clearing density and trauma and memories, sludge out of your chakras. We want to open channel, spiraling all the way up the channel, up to the higher self at the top. Go all the way up. There we go, up to the top and connecting to your God self, your soul essence, soul presence, your higher self. I always do like a heart-to-heart connection, heart-to-heart bond. Yes. Where we're reuniting, we're building this bond back together. And then we're now going to start to bring our soul presence back down the channel into the body. And so your soul is made of your signature light and your sound waves. So now let's reverse and start to bring the soul all the way back down in a big stream of soul light, down the crown, into all your chakras, filling in your shimmering soul light, filling into all the chakras. Here we go, down the body, to the lower body, to the root. There we go. Filling into the heart center with soul light, So love, so essence, so presence, starting to vibrate with soul light like a big solar sun, like a big starburst in your core. That's it. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, pulsing and vibrating with your soul's energy signature. Ooh. Just let that beat for a minute. It's pulsing your light into every cell in your body and out into your aura. Excellent. And now, final step, we're going to establish 0 point. So beginning to use the infinity of light, looping it left and right at the heart, and also a second one left and right at the left-right brain in the mind. And just begin to weave the infinity back and forth, left and right and left, horizontally at the heart and the mind. Now what it's doing is it's creating union and it's balancing. So let's watch what it's doing. It's starting to pull all your energy inwards towards the center of the infinity in the heart and the mind. It's helping us integrate. It's helping us balance. And so let's focus right there at the center of the infinity in the heart and the mind. This is called 0 point. So it's 0 gravity, it's 0 polarity or duality, it's 0 time. It's perfectly still and neutral. There you go. Just let that spread in the heart and the mind. And we're starting to establish coherence. And as this spreads up and down the body, it starts to bring the biosystems into coherence, heart and mind into coherence. Ooh, just let that spread. Ooh. And it also begins to repel out any non-coherence or negative polarized charge. So here we go. First clearing. Breathe out, spin out all non-coherence, negative polarized charge up and out of the physical body, emotional body, mental body, into the vortex. And then we release it. Vortex spins it back into God, into the source light, now to transmute to light. Whew. Release out. There you go. Good release. Woo. Back into source light to transmute to light. So everything that we clear is getting transmuted to light. There comes another wave. You might also feel it coming off the nervous system, vagus nerve, spine, brainstem. Oh, there we go. Good job. Another release. Back to source light to transmute to light. Whew. Excellent. So we're starting to lighten our body, lighten our field. We're starting to attune inside to our soul vibration. And the vortex is now really spinning. So now we're going to do the activations, okay? Both personal and planetary activations. And just envision being at 0 point between the old Earth timeline and the new Earth timeline. Get a sense of the new beginnings in front of you. The past is behind us. The future is in front of us. And as you're standing in 0 point between the old human life and your new galactic crystalline life, just tune into that stillness between your past and your future. And may this bright light reveal your soul life awakening in the new Earth timeline. Allow it to come alive in your field. Allow it to come alive and get activated in your light body. Allow it to get activated in your soul blueprint. We have today an opportunity to heal your earthly lineage and past life imprints of past trauma or pain or suffering or loss or lack. So anything that has caused you to separate from self, from others, from nature, from source, from the universe. We're just allowing it to dissolve in the light pouring through us. What no longer harmonizes with love and unity consciousness is dissolving now, just melting away into the vortex spin. Letting the past go. We're blessing it and thanking it and letting it return to the light. And as we are clearing the past earthly history and we're preparing for this new earth timeline, let's do some healing and clearing activation. So let's call in and connect to Divine Mother's healing, nurturing energy in your field, in your heart. Just breathe deeply in Mother's unconditional love in the heart. I always see her healing light as a soft pink light. Just breathe it in, call it in. Connect to Divine Mother. We're going to take a moment to heal and transmute any emotional trauma or suffering, heartbreak or sadness and grief. And so we're breathing in the healing light of Divine Mother, and we're breathing out, spinning out, clearing out the pain and trauma from the body, the heart, the mind, the aura. So breathing in healing light, exhaling pain and suffering into the vortex spin and transmute it into source light now. Whew. We command the bright light to burn out all stuck stagnation in our field now. Whew. Breathing in Mother's healing love, compassion, and healing energies, soaking them inside, and releasing out, clearing out the stuck pain and suffering, the stuck emotional energy. We command to clear any family ancestral code or consciousness programs or patterns that limit or oppose the activation of your soul's light body. We command it out, spin it out, clear it out, let it go into the bright light. For transmutation, all limiting patterns, programs, code, or consciousness that are opposing you living your soul's life in the newer timeline. Whew, there goes more. Spinning into the vortex to transmute to source light. Whew. And as we are releasing the trauma, let's embrace Divine Mother's unconditional love and healing blessings today. Again, breathing in, inhaling Mother's ease and grace into the core wounds deep inside. Breathe them in. Soak them in. Oh, you're bringing your wounded human essence into the heart for healing and gentle compassion and love. Breathing the healing Mother's energy into your entire being. Healing your body, healing your heart, healing your mind, your entire being. I just let it spin inwards, soaking in, filling up inside. We're in such gratitude to Divine Mother for her healing essence today. It is the stillness between your past and your future as you stand in 0 point and vision the heavy layers of the past earthly history just peeling away from your core center like skins just dropping away, layers peeling off, revealing deep inside the inner jewel that is your eternal divine soul I am presence. And so we release the old, outdated layers, traumas, density, the past, to reveal the diamond essence, our inner jewel, our soul super radiance inside us. Just breathe more of your soul's golden white light down your channel into your inner jewel, increasing your super radiance. Ooh. Oh, keep breathing it in, calling it in, feeling inside into your inner diamond jewel, increasing your soul light radiance. Your galactic power is your soul light. So focus on increasing your inner light, amping it, building it, strengthening it. Keep breathing it in. Big stream of your soul's golden white light filling inside, into the chakras, into the heart, into your inner jewel, your soul's essence, your soul presence. You are increasing more inner empowerment inside. Allow your inner soul radiance to shine out to the world. Whew. Oh, beautiful. You're all like glittering diamonds. Building super radiance. Start to envision your life of joy in the new earth timeline. Tapping on our arms and legs as we're coming fully back into the now, in our physical bodies, on earth, feet onto Gaia's grid, grounding in. Ooh, integrating in, pulling inside you, dropping down into your hips and legs and feet. Woo, we go. Ooh, making everything earthbound. Oh, so we're going to give all these intentions our love, our light, like watering the garden. And so it is.